Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I have a network update for you guys from T-Mobile. And this is a very interesting one. So I've recently been traveling around my city looking at upgraded sites. But at the same token, I also noticed that T-Mobile was filing permits to return to sites that had already been fully upgraded. They had N71. Some of these sites even had the newer FDD massive MIMO panels that are capable of doing DSS for N2 and N25, I believe, N66. I mean, some of these sites are really with brand new state-of-the-art radios, panels, equipment across the board. So at one of the sites that I was tracking previously about a week ago, there was a contractor at the site, but it wasn't a tower crew. It was actually what they call here locally General Electric. It was an electrician that was at the site, third party. And I asked him, I said, hey, is there anything wrong with the site? Are they going to have to change out some breakers? And he said, no. He's like, we're prepping for the site to receive a brand spanking new backup generator for T-Mobile. So I asked him further in detail if he could tell me a little more. I know there are NDA agreements, all that stuff. And he said no, he could tell me some basics. He said in Q2, which was just this past quarter, they installed about 5 brand new backup generators on sites that never had it previously. So I went back to the permits, and sure enough, there were 5 sites that had permits for sites that had already been upgraded. So 5 brand new sites got backup generators that previously never had them before. So in this shot that you see here, I posted these earlier on Twitter, but I wanted to share it with YouTube as well. So this is the same site that got the brand new backup generator before it was installed. So this is how the T-Mobile site looked before. And just to throw in a quick disclaimer, this type of investment would have not happened pre-merger. So all of these sites standalone, as a standalone T-Mobile, never in a million years would have gotten this investment towards the macro, where it got a backup generator. But now, just to show you guys, that same site within the last week got a brand new backup generator installed. And this goes along with the 4 other cell sites that had already got them a few weeks prior. So this is a massive investment. So essentially, T-Mobile is really spending, just to summarize it, they're really spending this amount of money to get their cell sites, their macros, up to par on everything that they may have lacked previously before the merger. So if there's new baseband units, newer equipment that needs to go on the site, they're doing it. New cabling, new radios, that's being done. We're seeing N71, N41 go up on the site. That's being done. In some cases, it's a one touch. Now, they're also going back now that the merger is approved and there's more money available, and they're opening up the floodgates. And now they're also adding backup generators to the sites. According to the contractor, this is supposed to happen at massive scale. So this throughout the city is supposed to happen at mass scale. They want to add it at every site. Now, according to him, this is going to take some time. This is not an easy fix. And the fact that T-Mobile is getting started later on this versus Verizon and AT&T shows you that this is going to take a little bit of time. Verizon and AT&T usually have this already included in the permit when a new site goes up. So everything is already structured and built around a backup generator coming to the area. In these cases where T-Mobile built their sites, they really didn't build the site with a backup generator in mind. So in some cases, there has to be additional lines laid. Depending on the backup power, it needs gas. If it's gas operated, it really depends how uniquely and how it's positioned and what they can possibly get to the site. But he told me to kind of simplify it and not make it too complicated. They can get this done. There's two. He says there's two companies that are working on this. One of them is General Electric. The other one is Tri-State Electric. So there's two contractors out and about doing this for T-Mobile. T-Mobile has this. He says they have this contracted in a very specific way. So they're tackling a certain amount of sites per quarter. So sites that have been already upgraded and touched, they are returning to those sites with backup power. This is going to fare really well on reliability when it comes to home internet. In case there is a power outage on a natural disaster, whether it's a, heavy winds here, maybe some bad thunderstorms that cause the power to go out. Maybe it's a hot summer and the AC circuits are overloading and certain neighborhoods have to be blacked out. This will help keep the tower running in these areas. This is a very specific and important part, in my opinion, to bring T-Mobile on parity with AT&T and Verizon. So when T-Mobile talks about parity in their pre-written remarks for any conference, for any analyst, for any earnings day, when they say parity, they're not really on parity with AT&T and Verizon if they don't have backup generators at every single site in your market. I know there's some areas and some sites where even AT&T and Verizon don't have backup generators, but I think that will be a thing in the past in the future. So let me know what you think about this. This is a very aggressive and important part in T-Mobile's network build out. This could be one of the reasons why they haven't really ventured off into millimeter wave and small cells in a big way. It sounds like to me that entire $12 billion that they're investing in their network is going to everything that they want to accomplish on a macro based level. Backup generators, N41, N71 where it's needed, newer cores, newer baseband units, C-band, all of that is funded in the money that they have. Once that's completed, I think then the money that they'll have for the annual capex, that'll go towards small cells, indoor solutions. So it's going to take time. It's going to take them time to fully realize the potential of what T-Mobile can do. And T-Mobile is already growing, and they're still barely early on in the development of the bigger picture of the network and where it'll be 5, 6, 7 years from now. They'll get there, but I don't think T-Mobile feels like they need to accelerate the spend just to get to the levels of the big two. They already have a year and some months of a head start. So by the time C-band is launched with Verizon and AT&T, T-Mobile will have far more N41 at scale. And not only will they have it deployed more at scale, in a good amount of markets, they'll already be able to go to 80, 100, in some cases even 120 megahertz. That's something that AT&T and Verizon will not be able to do until December 2023. So there'll be a 2-year gap before Verizon and or AT&T can even widen their channels on C-band. That's where I feel T-Mobile is going to take it even to another notch and accelerate even further with newer macros, because that's still in development. They still need them in certain cases in certain areas of cities. Backup power, that's coming too. And then eventually C-band, they'll also deploy C-band. And then, like I mentioned, the coverage going into rural America, that's something that T-Mobile also needs to catch up on. So again, significant investment coming. This is big money. Backup generators, all the equipment and radios going on the sites. That's T-Mobile investing a lot of money back into the network to reach the parity, the actual parity with AT&T and Verizon. If you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, share, subscribe, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.